Hi, everyone. My name's Linnea Baker, and I am a board-certified family nurse practitioner. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about sleep. My passion is holistic health and wellness. And through my research and experiences with clients and with personal experiences, I'm just finding more and more information that we just don't realize how it impacts our overall health and well-being. And sleep is one of those that really surprised me. And I just want to bring that to you guys so you're aware. So why is sleep important? Most of this came from the National Institute of Health and the CDC. And then I expanded on it. Okay. So we now know that the amount of sleep and the quality of sleep is just as necessary for our overall health and survival as food and water. And that just blew my mind. Absolutely, sleep is so important to our overall health and wellness, guys. And just like we need food and water, we need sleep. And I just never thought of it that way, So that's why I want to bring you this information. Sleep is important for a lot of our brain functions, and that includes helping our nerve cells, also called neurons, in our brain to communicate with one another. It helps us focus and learn. And that one, you guys know, if you've ever, I know for me in college, but if you've ever gone to work or a class and you just didn't give yourself the rest you needed before, it's really tough to focus and absorb anything and pay attention to what you're trying to do, whether it's execute at work or retain information. Also improves our creativity and helps us with making memories. And recent research is supporting the role of sleep as part of our brain housekeeping. And this is also just blowing my mind. When we sleep, it allows our brain to remove the toxins that built up in our brain during the day while we were awake. And it's also, this is another way of saying autophagy. Autophagy, the brain autophagy, is our brain removing the toxins and waste from during the day. So autophagy. Okay, guys, very important. We need to kind of sweep and clear out the waste so that we are working and our brain is functioning at optimal performance. Also, we know that sleep affects almost every type of tissue in our system and in our bodies, and that includes our brain, our metabolism, our immune function. Think about, I know my daughter's in college right now and she's sick. Why? She's not taking as good a care of herself. She doesn't sleep as well. That's a big part of it, right? You tend to get run down. We say we're more run down and more apt to get sick when we're not getting enough rest. So it affects our immune function, it affects our ability to fight off disease, and it also impacts our heart and lung function, guys. So really, when you look at it this way, it's so powerful. Really, sleep needs to be treated like a medicine. It's absolutely a key part of our overall health and wellness. And we tend to try to cut corners on the gerbil wheel and rat race in life and trying to survive. But if you really want to thrive, you need to give yourself that rest and sleep for your overall well-being and optimal function. Okay. I think back to all the times I worked night shift in nursing, or I was on the gerbil survival wheel with clinic and just always cutting corners with my sleep, or when I was in college and pulling all-nighters to study or out socializing. Just amazing to me how much damage I did overall and didn't realize it. So now that I know better now, so I'm doing better now. When we know better, we can do better. So what are some of the dangers of sleep deprivation? Well, insufficient sleep is actually linked to the diagnosis and management of many chronic diseases. And these are our big heavy hitters that we always talk about with holistic health and wellness, because we know our lifestyle really impacts these types of diseases: type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and depression. And just 1 week of lack of sleep can alter the activity of your genes, and those genes are responsible for stress, immunity, inflammation, and your overall health. So what happens when we don't get enough sleep? Well, we are disrupting our natural clock, our circadian rhythm, okay? And our circadian rhythms are revolved around our sleep, light and dark, the timing of when we eat. So sleep is a really important part of our circadian rhythm, and throwing that off is not good for our overall health and well-being. We can increase our anxiety levels. We can increase our risk of depression. What happens when we're getting inadequate sleep is our lack of sleep actually interferes with the neurotransmitters, and the neurotransmitters regulate our mood. I know we've talked before, or I've mentioned serotonin is our happy hormone, mostly made in our gut, but the neurotransmitters are the regulators of our mood. And when we don't get enough sleep, that's interrupted. We also impair our cognition. So that's when I talked about our ability to focus, think, and process information, whether you're at work or trying to learn something or execute something, but it also impacts our memory. Higher risk of high blood pressure. So sleeping between 5 to 6 hours per night increases the risk of high blood pressure or hypertension, because at night, when we do 24-hour blood pressure monitoring at night, you should have a natural dip where your blood pressure goes down, and that's occurring while we're sleeping. So if we're not getting enough sleep, we're not allowing that blood pressure dip that needs to happen, and we're at higher risk of heart disease and stroke. The magic number for adults is 7 to 9 hours. Kids need more sleep, but adults 18 and over, 7 to 9 hours, and also listening to your body, but minimum of 7 hours per night. Increased risk of diabetes. So when we're not getting enough sleep, we increase our stress hormone cortisol, and cortisol is actually associated with us having insulin resistance, meaning the insulin levels are going higher in order to get the same amount of sugar called glucose into the cells to store as energy for later. So pre-diabetes is insulin resistance, and then that turns into diabetes later if we don't get that under control. We also have a higher risk of injury. That's a no-brainer, guys. If we don't get enough sleep and we're trying to drive or work with heavy machinery or exercise, we're tired, we're fatigued, and we're not paying attention, and we can hurt ourselves. Increased food cravings. This is a big one. When we don't get enough sleep, it interferes with our satiety hormones and our hunger hormone. So satiety is our feeling full. So the feeling fullness hormone is leptin, and the one that makes us feel hungry is ghrelin. So when we don't get enough sleep, leptin, the satiety or fullness hormone, goes down, and ghrelin goes up. So we're hungrier and we don't feel full as easily. I noticed this just recently. I didn't get as good as sleep. I woke up tired and I was hungry, and I normally am not hungry in the morning anymore with my health routine. And I was like, why am I so hungry this morning? And I stopped and evaluated, and I realized I didn't get enough sleep, and my hormones were playing tricks on me because they were working against me at that point. So be mindful of that. It's powerful. And then also increased risk of breast cancer. So hopefully what I shared with you really awakened you guys to the importance of sleep and our overall health and wellness, and a part of our healthy lifestyle. And I'm going to continue to bring you tools to help build a healthy habit around sleep, but hopefully this gives you the understanding of why it's important. So for our action steps, I would love you guys to evaluate your personal sleep. How much sleep do you get at night? How many hours are you really getting at night? Do you awaken tired or well rested? Do you fall asleep easily at night, or do you take a while to fall asleep? And are you restless throughout the night, or are you getting that good quality deep sleep? Thanks so much, guys, for hopping on and listening to this talk about sleep and how important it is for our overall health. And I look forward to bringing you guys some more great information. You guys take care.